Come on in, ghouls. Welcome to Diddled Out, where we talk all things Survivor. My name is Luke, and today we're talking about the creepiest, the spookiest, the scariest Survivor curses around. Why, it was just a few short years ago when Survivor themselves leaned into their own spooky history with Survivor Ghost Island, a whole season centered around reversing the curses of seasons past, bringing back misplayed idols and advantages in the series' own spooky-themed love letter to itself. And while that was all well and good, one poorly played idol does not a curse make. Curses need patterns, people. Well, with Halloween right around the corner, what better time to examine some genuine, real-life, full-blown, you should definitely take seriously Survivor curses, spanning 20 years of the show. So pull down the blinds, pull up the covers, and gather around the virtual campfire, and let's dig into the 5 creepiest Survivor curses of all time. The 5th spookiest curse in Survivor history is the intro curse, extending from Survivor Borneo all the way through Survivor Millennials vs. Gen X. I'm sure you're familiar with the Survivor intro. You know, this thing that used to play in full in front of every episode, which eventually switched to a truncated version, which eventually switched to an online-only extra. Somewhere along the way, it was realized that the winner had never appeared first or last in the intro, meaning when the intro was released, you could just immediately write off whoever showed up first and last as the winner. Now, for like the first 10 seasons, I can chalk this up to coincidence, but when we're 20 seasons deep and a winner still hasn't shown up first or last in the intro, it's a curse. Now I know what you're thinking. Boston Rob did technically appear first in Redemption Island's intro as a tribe captain, but only in episode 2 onward. In episode 1, the intro played before he and Russell were sorted into tribes, so he doesn't appear in that intro at all. And I think most people hold that the intro curse remained even after that season, given the extenuating circumstances. Or maybe they just wanted to forget about Redemption Island in general. Thankfully, the intro curse was reversed in Millennials vs. Gen X when Adam appeared first in the intro. And then just to be safe, Chris appeared last in the Edge of Extinction intro, somewhat mirroring his original placement in the game, but also unequivocally ending the intro curse so hard we didn't even get an intro the following season. Chris Underwood, is there anything he can't do? The 4th creepiest curse is also our newest curse, the group of players used to hype all returnee seasons. Let's begin with the end of the Millennials vs. Gen X reunion, where Jeff takes some time to hype up the next season, Game Changers. He brings on stage 6 of the most popular returning players and Caleb, and have you ever seen a more cursed image? Sierra, Tony, Caleb, and Sandra were all pre-merge boots, Ozzy was the merge boot, and only Sari and Ty managed to make the end game. While we didn't get a similar onstage promo at the Island of the Idols reunion ahead of Winners at War, Entertainment Weekly put together a panel of 7 players from that season, and a lot of the pre-game press revolved around this very panel. So let's take a look at the makeup of that panel, shall we? Alright, this time we have 5 pre-merge boots, the merge boot again in Wendell, and only 1 player who got anywhere close to the end in Sophie. Alright, that's all the proof I need. This is officially a Survivor curse. Mark my words, whenever we get our next returnee season, I'd highly recommend not getting terribly attached to any of the players used to promote the season. They're cursed. The 3rd scariest curse in Survivor history is the curse of the Orange Tribe. Look, future survivors, if you get on the show and end up on an orange starting tribe, you may as well just get yourself voted out immediately and hope for the Edge of Extinction so you can try and Underwood it. Your tribe is straight up cursed and there's nothing you can do. The curse of the Orange starting tribe didn't always exist. Both Toggy and Chewy Gon were orange, and they're easily 2 of the most successful tribes and alliances of early Survivor. But it all went south with Pearl Islands and the Morgan tribe, who seriously struggled to get a foothold in the game and had as 2 of its most prominent members Survivor's first quitter and Survivor's first Lil. I'm just gonna blame this curse on Andrew Savage. I'm not sure if he opened the lament configuration or said Candyman in front of a mirror 5 times or what, but orange tribes have been seriously cursed ever since to be some of Survivor's most hilariously pathetic tribes. Shall I list them? Let's see, we've got Koyopa, Monono, Goda, Irai, Ravu, and Lyro. Quite clearly, orange is cursed to suck. Sure, there are occasional success stories. Here's looking at you, Apari. But not every curse is going to have 100% precision. I don't know, maybe when orange tribes were cursed, they didn't say every teeny tiny little syllable or something. Perhaps most emblematic of the orange tribe curse is Malolo in, fittingly, Survivor Ghost Island, who lost so many challenges and so many members that at Final Four firemaking, Wendell refused to even sit in the orange seat, fearing it was cursed, and he swapped stations with Angela, perhaps avoiding his own elimination in some sort of Final Destination-esque change of fate.
Wendell is petrified of orange, wants nothing to do with it. You don't care. Yet both of you have the same thing at stake, $1 million.
If it makes him feel better, I'm okay, because it doesn't bother me.
Although he was paid back in full with his edit on Winners at War. Ugh. For now, though, the curse of the orange tribe is very much unreversed. The second most spine-chilling curse in Survivor history is Cirie. Sorry, Cirie, you're cursed. I don't know what you were doing reading the Necronomicon Ex Mortis at Judith Meyer's grave on Friday the 13th, but you've been cursed to never be eliminated conventionally or with a majority of the votes, despite playing Survivor 4 times. Let's start in Cirie's first Survivor excursion in Exile Island. She made it all the way to the Final Four as part of Kasaya, a curse in and of itself, but was eliminated at Final Four in a fire-making challenge tiebreaker against Danielle. Cirie was then brought back as part of the Favorites tribe on Survivor Micronesia, where she made it to Final 3 this time, which she thought was, Final 3. But there instead turned out to be a surprise Final 2 due to all the medical evacuations that season. And so Amanda won final immunity and sent Cirie to the jury. Cirie then came back as a hero in Heroes vs. Villains, and was at the center of a strong majority alliance, but was idled out by Tom, who recognized her as the brains behind that operation, which would immediately be proven true with the Heroes gameplay at the merge. And finally, in perhaps the greatest robbery of all time, Cirie made it to Final 6 of Game Changers, where she became the first and only player in Survivor history to be eliminated by default, as Brad had immunity, Ty, Aubrey, and Troyzan all played idols or had idols played on them, and Sarah played the legacy advantage. Cirie wasn't even the target this round either.
Cirie, it doesn't matter what votes are in the urn, because the only person who can receive votes is you.
It was the perfect storm of nonsense to eliminate a player who's never been just conventionally voted out. Thus, poor Cirie must endlessly walk this mortal coil, playing Survivor every few years, always to get robbed of a win by some sort of endgame Idolpalooza or 11th hour twist.
It's never ending.
Man, worst curse ever. The most blood-curdling, hair-raising, spine-tingling curse of all time is the car curse, seen on the first 14 seasons of the show. To think it all began with Colby in Survivor Australia, when he won a Pontiac Aztec, a good night's sleep, and a little date with Jeff.
Dude, you gotta be hungry.
Too much. I'm starving.
Let's eat.
Let's grub. Definitely.
Colby, however, did not win the game, and ever since, the winner of the car reward has been doomed to never win, despite that reward challenge showing up in every season but one between seasons 2 and 14, it always coming fairly late in the game when only a handful of players are left, and it being won by some of the most popular players ever. The car curse has reared its ugly head in 2 particularly memorable car rewards, the first being in Guatemala, when Jeff outright discusses the car curse with Cindy when she won that reward, giving her the opportunity to give up her car so all the remaining players can have one instead.
You may or may not know, but in 10 seasons of Survivor, the person who has won the car reward has never, ever won the game. Some people, the superstitious kind, believe it is the curse of the car.
But Cindy believes curses are made to be broken, so she keeps her car and then, gets voted out later that episode. A few seasons later in Survivor Fiji, Yao Man won a Ford Super Duty, but gives the truck up to Dreams in exchange for Dreams' word that if he wins Final Four immunity, he'll give it to Yao. Well, Dreams didn't give up immunity, Yao was voted out, and then Dreams got shut out at Final Tribal. A 2-for-1 deal on this one. That controversy may have been enough for Survivor to kill the car challenge forever, as it's never been back since. Or perhaps sponsors didn't want their expensive giveaway to be associated with a curse. But with the car reward likely never returning, this curse will live on in Survivor infamy forever. This curse will never be reversed. There is hope though. Colby, take that cursed Pontiac and drive it right into Camp Crystal Lake. Not to reverse the curse or anything like that, just because it's one seriously ugly car. Got nothing else for ya. To reverse the curse of the unsmashed like button, like and subscribe, and I'll get you more Survivor content just like this. Until next time, have a safe and happy Halloween, and don't get idled out.